How's it going, folks? We'll get it started in just a moment here. Alrighty. How's everyone doing? Should be ready in just a bit here to, get things going. Just gotta finish making my tea right quick, and, we'll be underway. There will be no camera for today's stream. You're allowed to celebrate that. I know I sure am. But yeah, so just a few and we will get it going proper. Alrighty. Let's see how this goes. I have not played this since it literally came out on the original Xbox. It has been a very long time. So we'll see how it goes. Oh man, this brings back so many memories. Alright, let's do a quick audio balance. Turn that down a bit. Let's drop this a little bit. Keep it all about the same. And we'll bump you up to right there. Hello, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. That's hot. How's my audio? We sounding good? We sound balanced. Is the audio too loud, or everything, everything check out on y'all's end? Yeah, screw it. Why not? Okay. Oh, what about the game audio? That going through? Or are we having issues like last time? We want to get this right this time. Not spend 4 hours trying to fix audio issues. Oh man, talk about being rusty. I swear I'm professional, people. I swear. Who am I kidding? I'm not professional. I just act like it. Oh, I don't remember that setting. Cool. What? There we go. Okay, awesome. We are good then. So yeah. As I was saying, when we were chatting a few moments ago, this game was so redonkulously difficult. A fun time, but hard. In the mountains of autumn, there is one who walks the path of the ninja. There he is. There's our boy. There's our lady. Let's see. Let's see. So. Oh, yeah, no, this game was gorgeous, especially for its time. This game had a lot of fantastic graphics, and let's see here. Just kind of remembering the controls. Oh yeah, there we go. Alrighty, I think I remember this. I tell you, this game was probably most people's introduction to the parkour craze, I swear. That and Prince of Persia. Where'd you throw that? Huh. There it is.
A ninja must be able to find his way even when his path is blocked. When facing an obstacle,
Thank you for the follow,
jump towards
person.
it and
I
move
appreciate
quickly
that.
up its side until
How you
reach
doing?
its upper edge. Move to the left or right and climb up or drop down.
Yeah, so like I was saying, this game, when it first came out, was just absolutely ridiculous. In the best way possible.
Use the R3 button to enter first-person camera mode. A ninja must always be aware of his environment.
So, Ninja Gaiden, to my understanding, first came out, well, a substantially long time ago, actually. In fact, when I first played this, I didn't realize that it was essentially a remake. I had no idea of that, in fact, until... God, how long ago? How long ago was it? But, this game was a fun time. It was a frustrating time, but it was a good time. Let's see. See if I still remember. Oh, guess I haven't been able to do it yet. Bet this is the wall
Do not
run.
underestimate the agility that your training has given you. Such as running along walls should be simple for you to perform. If you cannot reach your destination with a single leap, make use of the surrounding walls.
Yep, there we go. I can remember the times I tried and failed, horribly, mind you, to wall run.
One of your most
In real
useful
life, that
techniques
is.
the flying
Didn't go so well.
Jump towards a wall and run up it, then jump off again. This allows you to travel to areas that may first seem unreachable. Repeat the flying bird flip to climb certain shafts and passages.
So, Ninja Gaiden, you know, this first one, definitely had its merits, but I gotta say, Ninja Gaiden 2 had the most epic scene. There's this one, oh, let's see.
Deflect your opponent's attacks by holding down the block button. You will not live.
Okay, that was the defense button, I remember now. Let's see. It definitely had its challenges. Let's see. Fortress Complex, Inner Sanctum. Yeah, no, this one definitely had its challenges. Let's see. That's right. I remember now. So, there are certain spots in certain parts of the game that you could not access unless you did like multiple wall runs. Let's see. God, this brings back so many memories. Let's see. Now to remember exactly where in the Hades I need to go. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that was one of the cool things about this oh, that's some way to get ahead. Hey, how's it going, second status? How you doing? Yep, good old Ninja Gaiden. The good old days, am I right? I'm surprised I remember half of the like the combos I'm pulling off. I'm genuinely surprised. Okay, there we go. Let's see. A suit of armor. Let's see. A suit of armor of the type that is often used for ceremonies. It's not something that a ninja would wear. Part of its faceplate is missing. That's right. That's right. I remember that. Let's see. Equipment. The dragon sword. Let's see. Supplies. There we go. Let's go ahead and drink a couple of these. And we're up to snuff. So, you remember the first boss of this game, right? And how absolutely ludicrously difficult. Not just... So, I just started this playthrough, but I played it and beat it on the original Xbox. So I played it. I played Ninja Gaiden 2. But what I was gonna say is, since you played it, you remember how ludicrously difficult... Oh, there we go, the flying swallow. The best technique. So you remember how ludicrously difficult all the bosses and sub-bosses were, right? I'm not gonna spoil anything for certain people here who haven't, played it yet, or, know anything about it, but do you remember how ridiculously simple the There we go. Flying swallowed into the next room. Sorry about that, guys. Ah! Janky controls. What are we doing? What are we doing? There we go. Oh, what in the hell? That is... Guys, I did not mean for that to happen. But it's okay, we'll get back to it. After all, we just got the mouthpiece. I mean, that's one way to escape a situation, right? First option was flight. Fight was out of necessity. But yeah, Master Murai, avoiding spoilers here as best we can, but you remember how difficult he was. You remember how easy it was to completely cheese?
Use right and left on the directional button to select an item,
Yeah.
and press down to use it.
Ah,
Heal your wounds without taking.
I see. But yeah, do you remember how easy it was to completely and totally cheese the final boss fight? Do you remember that? Like the whole game of just frustrating, you know, controller smashingly difficult gameplay just for the end. Just for the final, you know, final boss fight, all you gotta do is spam the flying swallow attack. I want first time viewers of this to remember what I just said. Really? Okay. So you can absolutely cheese your way through the final boss fight. Final boss fight is such a cakewalk in comparison. You know, I spent like 3 days trying to fight that, you know, purple worm. And, you know, dying, you know, time and time again. Just to basically, get to the final boss fight and realize that, oh, all I gotta do is, you know, hit repeated flying swallow attacks. Oh, so that's how it is, huh? That's how you want it. I see. I see. Let's go back and get... Let's get accustomed to these controls again. Let's do that. I will say that was the one drawback was the camera controls were a little jank. But it was still a good time. But yeah, I played Ninja Gaiden 2, well, Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2. 2 kept its difficulty. In fact, it actually expanded on its difficulty, and then I played Razor's Edge. I beat the original 1, I beat the original 2. Razor's Edge. I got to the last fight with the one guy that keeps popping up. The Marquis of the Mask. Never beat him on the final duel. Oh, snap, I died. Well, sort of. Where did you come from? There we go. Jesus! Anybody else? Does anybody else got something to say? No? Okay, thank you. Oh, time to save. The sacred underground paths of the dragons record all that occurs in the world of men. We have not forgotten those who live on the surface of the earth. But yeah, Razor's Edge. That was fun. I know that they toned down the challenge of it substantially from the other two. But it was still, still a good time. But I remember Ninja Gaiden 2, where you had all the like tactical dismemberment.
While in a blocking stance, tilt the left stick to roll your body. This is called the reverse wind technique. With it, you can avoid even the most fierce.
But I remember that one was brutal. This one, you know, you had your dismemberment, well, rather decapitation, but remember in like Ninja Gaiden 2, oh man, I was trying to go for that lamp. Oh snap. Remember how difficult this guy will be.
Have made it this far.
Remember this guy. Will I beat him on the first go, or get completely bodied? Most likely the latter. It's been forever since I played this. Whew. Oh man. Deflecting him back at me. Oh, oh snap. There we go. Yep. Oh man. Holy hell, I think I actually did it. Whew.
The dragon sword. So your father
We did it, guys.
sacred wilderness.
Yes. He has entrusted me with the sword while he
And it
was
only
in
took
training. He
all
never
of our
seemed
health potions to
satisfied
do
with
it.
the power he wields.
Someday you will come to understand the pursuit of power. Perhaps beginning with your
Training here.
And what of the sister
Assisted
blade,
by Dog Dragon.
Has he left
Who's
you
in charge of protecting it as well.
It remains in the village under the protection of my father's clan. They will ensure that the sword remains untouched. Its dark power sealed.
It is a shame that such a sword must go untouched, such power unused.
Ryu Hayabusa was
Alas, I am not
such a badass.
The sword
He was
is
so
not
cool.
my concern.
I just can't wait for the Izuna drop.
Master Murai, the Hayabusa village. Master Ryu.
Let's see what our ranking is. Oh man, look at that. Had we not had to use the Talisman of Rebirth, probably would have ranked higher. So here's my question, right? This is all, supposedly training. What is up with all the little, student ninjas that just got decapitated for the sake of Ryu's training? You know what I mean? Like, just question of logistics here. It's like, well, for the sake of training, we're gonna sacrifice you guys, and... but it'll be alright. So let's see here. The Valley of Shadows. No, this game was a good time. Oh yeah, in our first need pull. Art of the Fire Wheels. Because Hot Wheels was copyrighted. That's a joke. Oh man. Let's try this again. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh. These guys are just literally coming out of the woodworks. Literally. Oh, snap. Was there something? Oh yeah, no there wasn't. Lagging though. Anybody else? No? Okay. Hold on. There we go. Let's see what we got. Map of the village. Da-da-da. Let's see. Life of the Gods. I'm trying to remember what that one did actually. Life of the Gods. Shines bright. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. When you do that, it when you do these, it extends your life bar. I remember that now. I have a message.
When entering water, continue to hold the left stick. You will run on the surface. You must perfect this skill. If you let go of the left stick, you will fall in the water.
So, second status. How far have you gotten into it? There we go. We'll go ahead and just use that now. Oh, yeah. I remember the boss fight for this one. Oh, boy. We're in for a real treat here. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, those guys you want to get rid of right away. Oh. Whew. I'm trying to remember, there was something here in this one. If I recall correctly, there's something hidden. Let's see. Statue head. There we go. Got me one of those. I mean, you were there for that, right? 1800s? Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember those circles. You could, later on, you'll get, you'll unlock something that lets you basically fast travel back to, past locations. Oh yeah, I remember now. God, it's been so long. Oh. There's our girl.
A dark samurai clad in black armor. Master, you do not attempt to fight it.
Now that you've said that, I've absolutely got to fight it. Don't you know how this works? Okay, let's, oh yeah, these are always fun. Out of materials, alright. Shop. Yeah, let's buy a couple of these. Why not? Let's see. And let's just stock up on arrows, because we are going to need them. Oh yeah, I remember the wooden sword. We're gonna get that just for fun. to the moon. Okay. This concludes our shopping episode. We're gonna... I don't have time for you. Let's see. Okay. Oh. And the cavalry. Sorry, horses. I didn't want to do it. Never felt good about killing a horse, in-game or otherwise. But sometimes they leave you no choice. There we go. Sorry, horse. More of you. Oh. Jesus. How many of you are there? Also, guys, my apologies if my throat's a bit raspy and I'm clearing my throat incessantly. It's been, today's been a rough one on my voice. There's for one, all this weather change is doing my sinuses no favors. So I've got a lot of congestion. I ran right into that. And into that. And into that. Really? 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 So that's how it is. Alright. Come on, buddy. That was ineffective. let's just do it again. There we go. Whew. Okay, good. Let's buy a few more of these. Save. Alright, guys. Boss fight number 2. Coming up in a moment here. First, let's see what's up here. Let's see. A cemetery where the ancestors of the Hayabusa clan have long been buried, a cold chill can be felt in the air, as if the spirits of clan ancestors have been awakened from their eternal sleep. I gotta say, even as far as like remasters go, graphically this game still holds up. It's still pretty damn gorgeous. Considering this game came out in like early 2000s, over 20 years ago. Oh my god, I just felt my back go out. This game is like over 20 years old. Oh man. Alright, folks, here it is. Oh, I forgot he came with friends. Oh. Yeah, these guys don't really let up, do they? Okay, one second. One second here. Let's just slow up for just a moment. Alright? Oh, that's not what we were trying to do. There we go. I remember now. Yeah, this guy comes with friends. And, trust me, it is not a good time. Point blank range. Okay, let's go ahead and swap to our bow. Although, actually... Whew. Oh, that is not what we're trying to do. Let's see, equipment. Projectile. Could also be useful, but we're gonna go with this. Because jumping shots. Oh, crap baskets. Thank God. Really, what are you shooting at, man? If I remember correctly, there's a way you could charge up bow shots, but I ain't gonna try it right now. Whew. Spicy. Oh, there goes my last hill. Oh, Jesus. We did it. We did it. Oh, man. Let's go home, people. Holy hell. Yeah, no, we are saving right now. Oh God. Well, it's a good thing we saved, yeah? Oh man, that's gonna affect the score. But that's alright. Hey, we took out the boss. We took out the boss, okay? Jesus! Whew. I totally meant to do that when he spawned. Totally. Absolutely, that is 1000% plant. No, that was an absolute fluke. Oh my god. You know, that's a good question. I can tell you, honestly, I don't feel that I have a right to an opinion in that one, just based on the sole fact that I've never played the game that Ryder was in. But so I don't know exactly what all he's done, but I got good feelings about Ryu Hayabusa. I mean, the man's gone up against, you know, gods, demons, robots. He's got his ninpo skills. He's survived. Oh, hellfire, literally. Whew. Which one is that again? Just out of curiosity. In I mean, I do take stream requests, I will say that. So if there's something you want to see me play, let me know, and I will try and play it. It may be a while before I get to it, but I will certainly give it a try. Let's see. Ryu, this is no time to showboat. Let's see. Okay, where am I supposed to be going? Okay, not up there. Let's see. Yeah, so remind me again about which one Strider was. Cause like it sounds really familiar to me. I know I've seen it. I know I've seen what the character looks like. Was it in a similar vein as this one, or? Holy hell. Was getting blasted. Oh! Really? Really? That certainly makes a difference. See, don't you miss the good old days of, like, predominantly destructible environments? I do. Oh yeah. So, I am familiar with the character loosely. I've never played his game. I've never played that, played it, but I'm loosely familiar with the character, what it looks like. Yep. Yep. Just all over the place. You're not getting me this time. Alright. Oh yeah, hold on. Let's change to these. Dude, I'm saying, right? Just so casually too, you know? It's like, don't mind me, I'm just gonna wall run up, you know, this pyre of flames. No bigs, you know, no big deal. I'm chilling, my guy. My doggy is flame retardant. Let's see what we've got. That's right. Gotta collect 9 of those. I remember now. I certainly hope you've got yourself a plan, Ryu Hayabusa, because you are 1 hit away from death. Oh no. I remember this. Cue the Wayne's World moment. You. I'm about to get smashed. And not in the fun way. Oh yeah, this is gonna be spicy. Granted, I think this is one of those you can't win types. Or if you do beat him, it's not a true victory, still the same. Oh yeah, no, he is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So let's see. Oh man, I still got a Master Ninja rank. Oh man. Look at that. Look at that. And he is miraculously healed. And super decked out, might I add.
My network of ninja have uncovered the
Man,
reason
Ryu
for
packing
attack.
cake. Got the whole damn bakery.
Burned the village was Doku, lord of the greater fiends of the Vigor
My
Empire.
boy's all caked up.
It appears as though the Vigor Emperor seeks the power of the Dark Dragon Blade.
Because he only needs one. Resourcefulness. It's resourcefulness. Skies of Vengeance. The Hayabusa village has burned and the Dark Dragon Blade is gone. Ryu has stowed aboard an airship headed for the Vigor Empire. His goal? Vengeance.
The Holy Vigor Empire, a strange dictatorship veiled in secrecy. Its
Don't mind me,
exclusionist
just
foreign
chilling.
policy makes for very few ways to enter the country. One of the only remaining routes is by airship to the capital city of Tehran.
Just flying first class, chilling like a villain.
We've received reports of a hostile malefactor crossing the Vigor border. A search will be conducted immediately. Maintain current course and velocity. I repeat, maintain current course and velocity. We've received reports of a hostile malefactor.
Oh yeah. I remember this spawn reject. Ooh, goodies. Let's just casually steal everything. This is the perfect time to be sleeping. Come on now. Oh man, can't cut the lamp. Living quarters. Ironic considering everybody's about to die. Did I just say that out loud? Give me this elixir, just, you know, that you just so happen to casually have laying about. No running in the halls, huh? How about running on the walls? Never said that. Never said nothing about that.
You must strengthen your weapon. Awaken its inner power to a greater level, and you will be able to perform devastating new techniques.
Yeah, I'm trying to, lady. I haven't unlocked upgrades yet. Chill. Give me a few. This is only mission 3. Room service. Oh. Bro, did you really just uppercut me? Really? With the freaking shield? I see how it is. Service your own damn room. How about that? Eh? Oh god. Don't tase me, bro. Whew. The wing key. This ain't Resident Evil. This is wrong. This is wrong franchise. Okay. Anything in here, or did I already come into this room? I did not. More goodies. Let me just casually loot every single thing in the place. We're gonna need a cleanup, living quarters. Seems somebody spilled some wine.
When casting Nimpo, shake the controller. The force of this will add to the strength of your Nimpo attacks.
Really? That's a relatively new mechanic. Oh. Really? Yo, who brings a gun to a sword fight? Really? I call anarchy. I don't know why that always amuses me. Just the floating blood suspended on the invisible wall. And got nothing in here. Oh, I spoke too soon. There we go. Let's see. Nope. We don't want in here just yet. Let's not advance this just yet. Or should we? Oh man. Let's see what's happening below. Hey. There we go. Just a moment, folks. Okay, I was literally just here. Never mind. Oh yeah, there's a second side. I forgot about that. Oh, Wait, what? Whew, you poor thing. Did you try some of that tea recipe that I'd posted before? Have you tried that yet? Oh, there's the save point. Saying my my own voice is a little wrecked today from a pretty intense day. So I get it. I've been pounding down tea. Hey, do it. Do what you gotta. Locked from the inside. You may be wondering why there's blood all over the floor and wall. Don't worry about that. Tis not yours to be concerned with, I assure you. So, very, very similar, minus the stealth elements. Same timeline, same, well, by timeline I mean time frame. They came out around the same time. Oh, gold scarab, get it? Hell yeah. Map of the city. Don't think I'm gonna do that just yet. Or maybe I should. But yeah, they came out around the same time. This was Ninja Gaiden. I played the original on Xbox. Same with Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360. They were an absolutely phenomenal time. I played Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge on the, oh, cool, there we go. Never mind. I played that on the PS3. Razor's Edge was, Razor's Edge was I guess you could say revamping of Ninja Gaiden 3. Ninja Gaiden 3 had taken out the dismemberment and had this steel on bone concept where you could, do critical damage by mashing the attack button whenever you were about to, cut into an enemy, and you got them just right. Oh man, Onimusha, that was a good time. To hell with that doll. I played, was it Onimusha Ginma? I don't fully recall. 1 second. So basically they had ported the first Onimusha game for the Xbox, because I had Xbox and PS2, but my PS2 completely died on me. And so that was the only way I could play the Onimusha game was getting the Xbox port. But that was a good time. I was a big fan of that series. I only ever played... Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing? That good, huh? Where the hell did you come from? Bro. Right. No, Sam's Club. Sam's Club. Way worse. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, so you got something to say. Oh. Bro! Why? That is no way to get ahead. Got your ID. Let's see how far you get without that. Boudreaux. You know what? You know what? Just for the damages, I'm just gonna jack. Oh snap! Dragon's claws and tiger's fangs. Right. Although a multitude of files are stored in this room, none of the documents look as though they contain any important information. Jank. That's lame. Alrighty. Let's see here. Equipment, melee weapons. Let's see. Why not? Oh, wait, hold on. One sec. I want to see if I can... Oh, man. Can't do the Izuna drop yet. Okay. So, let's see what you guys got. Oh, that is sexy as all get out. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I don't think I properly investigated that one area. Bro, interact. The ship's control. Okay, just says the same thing. Okay, now we're good. Okay, let's see. Bro, you are getting mobbed, my guy. Mobbed. Oh, there we go. Celebrated too soon. Yeah. That, Wait, hold on. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on. I just goofed. You know what? That's alright. I just got duped by the frickin' game. Wow. Ain't that par for the course. I got baited. That's alright. Bro. Ryu Hayabusa got the zoomies. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Hey man, cleanup works quick. Let me just steal these official documents here. Yeah. Take the map. Forget the clipboard. Take the map. Hey guys, it's me again. What? What? That hitbox. There's no way that kick should have landed a moment ago, man. No way. That's how you do it. There we go. Don't mind me, just gonna casually jack all your gear. Take all this for the psychological damages. Entitled to my compensation. Oh, wait. Bro, what in the actual hell? Thank you. Ooh, save point. Don't mind if I do. All right. But yeah, now that I'm playing this again, we are absolutely running the whole series. We have got to. It would be genuinely criminal not to do that. Especially because of the epic staircase moment in Ninja Gaiden 2. You remember that one? Second status? Where you're fighting the Black Spider Clan? And you're just going down that staircase, just absolutely bodying hundreds. So many frickin' enemies on screen that it causes you to lag. Yet, for some reason, the lag and the slow-mo actually made it all the more epic. Yeah. That was like the best moment. That was the highlight, peak gaming moment of, you know, my time playing Ninja Gaiden 2. Or games of that era, for that matter. That was just the height of it. I was so hyped for that part. Especially I had just maxed out the staff. And so it had basically been like the 3-section flail. Ah, I see you have one of the golden scarabs, a legendary artifact of which many are scattered around the world. If you give it to me, I will exchange it for something worth your while. Alrighty. Let's see. Dragon and Tiger Fang. Well, Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang, rather. That was a fun one to work with. I remember the first time I played Ninja Gaiden, I went out of my way to level up literally every single weapon I had, even the wooden practice sword. I was like, there is absolutely no way I am not leveling up everything. I'm going full completionist. I got all the golden scarabs. Will I do that on this playthrough? Most likely. Maybe, maybe not. I haven't decided yet, but chances are considerably high. Because I am OCD. And this game is just a good time. So what y'all been up to? What have y'all been playing? Anything fun? Let's see. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Alrighty. Now we progress. Lest we regress. But, well, I just went down this one. Never mind. We just regressed. Chat, we just regressed. You know, you mentioned earlier that this game is a lot like Tenchu. Definitely has that without the stealth elements. That is the one thing that is missing from this is the stealth aspects. Which, you know, not necessarily good or bad. Oh, snap. Personally, what I'm looking forward to the most is not cutting that flaming barrel. Oh god. Whew. Oh man. That would have been bad. that would have been spicy, let me tell you. But I'm looking forward to getting the the boomerang shuriken. That was a fun weapon. Oh god. You will kill us all, you absolute madman. Wait, can I blow these up? Yes, I can. I absolutely can. Should I have done that earlier? Probably, but I will say the bow controls on this one were kind of jank. The bow's a great weapon, but the controls a little questionable. Oh, guys, I got totally gypped. It was hysterical. I got completely ripped off. So I'm streaming this because I've got... What? What? Oh man. Get back up there. What are you? Oh, Jesus. Noob. Is that a target? Okay, no, that is not a target. Oh! Hellfire. But yeah, I got gypped. So PlayStation was having a sale. It was like the 75% off. And granted I only paid like $10 for it, if that. But still. Man, I got completely gypped. Because, I bought Street Fighter, the 30th anniversary edition, right? And, oh man. So I'm excited for it, because, you know, I love Street Fighter. It's one of my favorite series. And then, the moment I, like the moment I turn my PlayStation on today, right? Because I'm getting ready to stream this. I'm looking through the selection, and I'm just like, what do they got? They have the freaking 30th edition, free as part of the premium subscription. a literal week after I buy it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm just like, oh man. But I don't feel too bad, because a buddy of mine bought Resident Evil 2, the remake, and they played through it, and they literally just beat it, and then I was like, hey, you know, they also just put the RE2 remake up there for free, right? And my friend was like, really? Now? Of all times, now? Oh, hold up. I did not swap weapons. There we go. Oh god. Wrong way. Wrong way. What are you doing? Whew. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to do this. Oh god. I didn't mean to do that. That is not what I meant to do. Oh man. So, there's a crossbar that I'm supposed to have, you know, been crossing. That was not it, guys. That was definitely not it. Let's just go ahead and do this right quick. Alright. Now we're ready. Oh god. That was almost cinematic, you know? Hidden behind the, yeah, you get what I mean. Well, I hope you guys are having a good time. Hope y'all are having fun. Watch me, make a fool of myself. Oh man, I need to heal up. Okay. There's supposed to be some way I could cross this thing. There we go. We did it, gang. We did it. Famous last words. Am I right? thinks he's slick. I will happily take that. They think a little tape is gonna keep me out. Ha! Oh God. Okay, I guess you can't bust that window. Alrighty. What are we working with here? Something to interact with. Okay, I guess they want me to interact with that. Except that I can't. Alright. This room is filled with machines that handle power distribution for the airship. No kidding, you don't say. I mean, that's kind of what I thought a engine or control room did. Let's see. Let's check our map. The airship. Quarters, main deck. Quarters. Forward to the helm. Power room supply, that's where we are. Captain's quarters. That's where we need to be. Okay. Definitely not going that way. Whatever you do, don't look down. Oh God, guys, I look down. Whatever you do, don't let go. Let's just replenish these right quick. Alrighty. Quick save right here. I can't remember if it's Ninja Gaiden 1 or Ninja Gaiden 2. One of these, they have a challenge where you can save once. You only get to save once, and that's it. What kind of absolute barking mad lad do you have to be to do that? You know what I mean? You've got to be absolutely bonkers to even try it. Maybe at some point. But this playthrough, definitely not. I've already saved more than my fair share. Okay. Is there anywhere else we can go? We've been here. You know this is an early 2000s game when you gotta epic dodge roll your way through a door. If your main character was not tech rolling through a door, were you really even playing an action game at that point? There we go. Get away. Get that out here. Oh, God. Is this Costco enough for you? How in the world of probability did that even... You know what? I ain't even gonna question it. Bro, I don't want to know you like this. At least buy me dinner first. See, that guy's thinking with his head. Give more head than a guillotine in the French Revolution. Oh God, I deserve that. Oh God. Oh man. I should have known. Get a level 3 charge and then they do this to me. Typical. Typical. Really? Rockets? Really? Ran right into that. Oh, what are you doing, Ryu? Oh god. Oh. Whew. We survived. Oh man. Okay. What? That's fine. Okay. Let's do this. And for gits and shiggles, we're gonna do this. 'Cause why not? Should I have done that? Probably not. Doesn't matter. Not in retrospect. Okay, let's see. What are we doing here? Crew compartment. We've already been here. Yep, we have definitely been here. I just got turned around. I will not start singing Bonnie Wright, because that would be wrong. Trying to remember. God, it's been ages. Let's consult the map. Shall we? I think we shall. Crew compartment, main deck. Left middle cabin. Okay, forward cabin to helm. Alright, that's where we need to go. Will we get there? I don't know. Ah, God, that rhymed. How so very dare. Okay. So, let's see. I am still shocked about how well this game holds up visually. Like, I am genuinely just in awe of this. Wrong way. So many flashbacks. tell you how many times I did that playing this as a kid. So fore cabin to helm. So we middle cabin. We were here. We fought the dudes. We went there. Okay. We were already here. Going down in an earlier round. I cannot believe I just made that reference. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? I don't even like Fallout Boy. I know, big, you know, big crime, sin, whatever. No, teen of the 2000s doesn't like Fallout Boy. Unheard of, I know. Where in the absolute hell are we going? No switches to flip. That was not intended. But it was funny. The timing was good. No switches to flip. Okay. Nothing. Nothing. Getting stumped. What exactly? It's gonna be something so ridiculously simple. And we all know we're gonna feel like a fool for being locked like this. We know this. Just to be sure, I'm not tripping, right? Like, when we were in that control room, there were no prompts for advancing, right? It's like, hi, this is, you know, engine equipment. This keeps the ship from crashing and burning, and everybody from dying. That's basically what it was, right? I did it again. Okay. Just to make... Oh god, don't you do that! Just to make absolute sure, completely 100% certain, we're gonna go back. Just to see if I missed something, because that is highly likely. probably going to be something so obvious that my cat will be ashamed to associate with me afterwards. Guys, I'm going to unsubscribe for myself. I'm just gonna... Mr. Ainsley, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Oh. Oh, man. I'm just gonna chug my tea. Choke a little bit on the tea leaf from the broken tea bag because I deserve something bitter. And yeah. Guys, I suck. There's no other way to put that. That's just the reality. Proof I've gotten softer in my old age. You know, it used to be when I played these games as a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, destroy everything. Let's see what's destructible. Cat, I would not associate with me either. I do not blame you. Judge me as you see fit. But I'm gonna reload on these arrows. And now we advance. Oh, man. Let's do this. Hello, lag. What is up? Oh, it's all foreboding. Ayane.
You will find yourself faced with a horde of enemies. Be wary. When you have defeated them all, you will be presented with priceless treasure.
Well, doesn't that sound foreboding? Let's do it. Oh, God. Bro, defense. Where is your defense? Get it. Oh, God. Whew. Get the health. Get the health. Okay, there we go. Why are my counterattacks not working? Oh boy, you are getting kicked in the face. Ooh, thank God. Give me that health. Give me them floating blue orbs. No way that is the end of everyone. I seriously doubt that. Okay. The grand irony of calling this the living quarters. I'm just saying. Oh man, that baseline though. Where was that door? Okay. There was a door that was locked that we could not get to. Where was it? Don't think this was it. Oh no, this was. Oh god. How so very dare? Alright, wait a minute. What is that? Is that a... Oh god. You just took out your own guy, man. What? That was wasted. If you could please be so kind as to stay down and dead, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for your consideration. I will go this way. I'm just gonna Jack Sparrow this for a moment here. Oh god. Alright. Is there anything up there at all? No, there is not. Are there any other goodies to be taken? Nope. I think not. Okay. You know, I'm really not feeling the customer service here. Just you wait till the Yelp review. Just you wait. I'm going full Karen on this. I don't even care. Oh god. Ryu, what are you doing, my guy? Whoa, camera, what are you? Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh god. I'd like to speak with your manager, please. Going full Karen on this. Going full tilt Karen. You're gonna see Ryu Hayabusa with a frickin' bob cut. Oh god, that imagery is mortifying. Why did I do that to myself? Oh god, I'm gonna see that in my sleep tonight. Rope. Oh god. There we go. Okay, nope. Climb the ladder. Yeah? Don't slash the walls, climb the ladder. Thank you. You know, it still handles. Hello? Whoa, buddy. Way more of you than I'd wanted to see. Oh. Hi. Rope. Holy hell. Oh, that was shocking. Okay, I deserve that. I deserve that. Oh, hellfire. No. Yes. See, that's how they baited you before. Was, if you don't read that prompt carefully, basically they're asking if you want to swap to easy mode. Is what that whole prompt is about. You know, do you want to abandon the path of the ninja? Do you want to take it down a notch because, you know, apparently you got skill issue. You're a walking skill issue and they want to talk smack. Which, I mean, valid. They're not wrong. I will not fault them on this one. Alright, you. Oh god. Rope. We did it, ladies and gents, and all those in between. We took out that, Todd McFarlane reject. Oh man. What'd we rank? Oh man, we still got Master Ninja. I don't know how we did that, but we did. Well, alright, people. Hey, you're good. No worries. Well, I was actually just about to end it right here. You know, we did what? 3 chapters? I'd say that's a good run for the night. It was good having you. I appreciate the conversation and you know, your patronage. I am being judged by my cat. Okay. Hello to you too, sir. Anyways, you know, thank you guys. Appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me. Hoping to do this again a lot sooner than you know, the gap between the this stream and the last one. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time and stay nerdy.